Well, I have had an interesting day. I learned that I don't do well with the little powders that you add to water that only adds 5 calories, um, give you flavoring and all that. And we happened to get some that said energy, which I didn't pay attention, but that's like 150 milligrams of caffeine per. And so I don't know. I was just drinking it like I would drink water. And I'm on a carnivore diet, so all I drink is water and eat meat, eggs, and maybe some cheese. But anyway, I was drinking six, eight, uh, maybe more,
Yeah,
10,
you were going through a lot
10,
at a
12,
time. Yeah.
yeah, 10, 10 bottles of water.
So that's over 1,000 calories,
No, no, not
1,500 or
1,000 calories.
1,500 milligrams of.
Yeah,
That puts you at toxic levels.
yes, I was hitting the toxic levels because I did not realize that it had 150 milligrams. So anyway, I had to stop. It was causing me grief. And today is the second day of me realizing and doing something about it, and it's caused me to be like yesterday. I was like, man, I don't want to work. Now I've had those days before. It's not like um, I'm lazy or something. But every day, every person has those days where you just didn't want to work. Well, it was amplified, and even more so today. So that is because I'm not doing 1,500 milligrams, 1,600 milligrams of caffeine with drinks. I had no idea what I was doing. That tells you how imperfect I am. And
Worse, his nurse and wife forgot to tell him, hey, there's caffeine in that, because I didn't realize you were drinking that many.
so, and it's not her fault. It has to do with me. I'm grown up. What am I going to do? Not be able to take care of myself if she's not around? But I enjoy and listen to her. I like listen to her voice. So we've had a long-term romance. Uh, I would say,
Over
uh,
13
like that
years.
sign that we have says, macaroni and matrimony are the same. They're not as good if they're not hot. We have had one whale of a hot time, she and I. We've had a wonderful time, and I'm very happy to be around her. And I don't have a problem saying it to the world, none at all, because all I've done is benefit from it. I've not come to any. I've not lost my manhood or my ability to make decisions. Uh, I make decisions like I've always. I just take her in consideration whenever it affects her in a direct sense. Any kind of big decision, I want to know what she has to think. So anyway, I
You still have the final veto, though.
we just have that agreement because she knows that I'm looking out for her, even when she doesn't feel good. She doesn't feel like working. I look out for her, and she knows that. It's not like I'm uh, a immature guy. Uh,
That's Facebook.
yeah, Cameron. An immature guy. I just said that, and then I'm like, I got people watching, and I'm not paying attention. So, but I'm very ADD and ADHD, and I'm ADD and HD for sure because I'm in high def, and I use lists to take care of that, which kind of goes in hand to hand with what I was going to talk to you guys. And by the way, whenever I have these discussions, I welcome interruptions. Really,
Questions.
really, what I want is for you guys to ask questions, and I'll just try to give you the best answer I can. With, let's see, I've been. If you want to say, I just want to say from 18 because my dad was a fantastic electrician. I mean, he taught electrical when I was a little kid. So I don't want to go back to when I was a child and I was straightening nails and such. But I've had been in construction since I was 18. I never did work in a fast food joint. I have no problem with that, anybody doing that, nor do I disrespect it. What I'm saying is I spent all my time digging ditches, on and on and on. Electrical, plumbing, drywall, metal stud, acoustical ceilings, synthetics, plaster. I could go on. And I'm at a journeyman level in multiple different trades. And I held a journeyman's license statewide in 2 or 3 states in electrical for quite a long time, and had 2 master licenses available to me if I needed them. But I never ever got asked because most people just want to feel comfortable with somebody and once you explain to them what you're going to do. So what I'm leading us through this collage of my history is that whenever I estimate, it has a lot of experience along the way. And so I still, as of today, I made a mistake on an estimate.
Well, it doesn't help that material prices keep changing.
Well, yes, that's true. So one of the things that happened today was, yesterday I started on it. So whenever I bid this job, it had about 120 days went by before the job came to fruition. In that time period, the price of 6-panel doors went from 45 to 65, and I really didn't bid it right to begin with. Even at 45, then you buy hinges and
That's rare for you to mess up.
yeah, I was leaving like $30. But you understand, at the time I was working long hours, and he's like, "Hey, I really need that estimate so I can turn it into the bank." And I was doing what I thought was right, and I didn't slow down. I was pushing hard. I got through, and I did more than one estimate that day, and I should have slowed down and went ahead and did everything thoroughly.
I remember that day.
So even today, I made a mistake, so that I didn't really make, but like, I think $10 to $15 per door, and that didn't even cover my time to go get them. Not even close, because I had help with me. So, and he's making $18, $20 an hour. You understand? And then there's fuel. That's not even counting my time. So yes, I can still make mistakes, and I don't want you to think that the ways that I estimate are perfect. I am just expressing to you and willing to share with you what I learned, and
we've had a lot of questions on that,
Yeah.
how to do it. A lot of questions.
So I don't want to come across like I'm a know-it-all. As a matter of fact, I take great joy in continuing to learn. I'm not a fast learner. And now, she tends to disagree. It is not that I'm not, what is the word? I do learn. But for me, once I've got it, then my mind works quick, and I'm starting to, whenever I do the work, I start changing how I do it and try to see different ways and which method works with different angles. Like today, I didn't want to slow down because I did all the trimming on the doors where the doors strike against, what that's called. But I was like, man, I'd like to do this with a coping saw because this trim is so small. I could just do it with a coping saw and be faster than what I was doing, which was a jigsaw, battery powered. And so anyway, a lot of times, so it seems as though that I learn fast, but I can literally feel myself mechanically going. I don't do well with a lot of distractions, a lot of noise, a lot of people talking to me. I'm like, so I have to go through it, and then I get it into my mind, and then I start putting it into place. Like I had somebody, let's see, they wanted me to build a rack that goes on the ceiling for Ashiatu massage, which you suspend yourself, kind of balance yourself from these wooden, sometimes metal bars, but wooden, and then you massage somebody. So I'm like,
Is that your ex-wife?
yeah.
Why did I know that?
So it's so I she was explaining it to me and it didn't register very well, and so I watched some videos by this guy, and he was doing multiple videos. So I'm learning how to figure out how much material you need, what size. But in order for me to learn what he had to show, he didn't have dimensions on every video. I had to watch 6 videos, and then I got a dimension and what he did for the bars that are wooden, what size, which is 2.5, and then he routed it. So, and then I got it. And then I understand, and I saw how he did it. It took a while to just fall into place. And it's the same way with mechanical things, air conditioning, and new tools, new electronics. I don't feel like I need to know everything that's going on around me, because a lot of times I'll defer the electronics to someone else, not because I can't learn it, but because if I'm not the only one who knows, then I'm not the only one who's doing it, and I'm already doing a lot of things. So here I am learning all the time, including on how to estimate with an ever-changing tool world and an ever-changing material world. I've been seeing apps now that will estimate for you, but I don't think they adjust to other people's budget. So, like when I work on mobile homes, and I walk into that home, or usually when I pull up to the house, I can tell whether or not those people have the ability to spend $40,000 on their. First of all, they're not going to spend $40,000 on their kitchen. I mean, it's possible, but it's not likely, because that's not what that house would cost used. It should. I'm seeing double wides in this area that are fixed up $275,000, and I'm not talking about on the side of I'm talking on the side of a hill. And this area is one of the top 15 fastest growing. So even that is difficult with price wise. So when I pull up to that person's home, the outside of the home quite often tells me, the cars tell me, not always, but they tell me what this person's budget is going to be like. And then I can go inside, and if it looks like all new furniture and everything's real fancy, that they might have payments, then I know that they're going to let me know. I'm going to talk with them and be pleasant with them, and I'm going to let them tell me, because usually they have stored up in them lots of information that they want to convey to me. So how does that app take that information into account? It's not. It's going to say, look, this is what you bid, and this is what you get. It's going to be $5,000 to put in a dual sink inside the master bathroom. They're not going to be able to pay that. And if it's somebody in a nicer home, does that account for the fact that you're going to have to come in from the back, not the front, and go up a staircase and through the living room when they're not having company, so you may have multiple days, and you're going to have to take out the material so that it doesn't make a mess. You have to cover the floor. So that app is not doing that. And that, so circumstances adjust whatever, the degree of difficulty adjusts the price. Okay? And the balance of quality adjusts the price. There's another thing that adjusts the price, the person's attitude.
Oh, yeah.
So if you start off with somebody that said, look, I ran the last 3 guys off, I'm not putting up with anything, but I want this, and I'm not going to put up blah, 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 blah. The last time I will not put up with, I'm going to start suing people if they don't do what I want them to do, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. They usually will let you know if they're going to be difficult. So, generally, if they start threatening me before I even get started, giving them an estimate, I usually try to find a polite way to step off. And believe me, there's a lot of southern ways to say,
No fucking way.
yeah,
I'm out.
I'm not working for you. You know, there's a story of this woman who went to a dentist and she was bragging about it. My husband bought me this fur coat. My husband bought me this person. My husband bought me this coat and these clothes and that car outside. And what did your husband? Oh, he took me to charm school. What did they teach you at charm school? And well, every point of the way she was telling this lady, the other lady said, "That's nice." You know, isn't that nice? That's nice. And they taught me to say "that's nice" instead of "f you." You know, so in the South, there are very polite ways of telling you, "I'm not going to be the person that you want. You have found yourself in a." Okay. Whenever somebody wants me to work for them, and I know they're going to be difficult, I define what they want in detail. And I tell them, you have the right to change your mind, but you do not have the right to mistreat me or talk bad to me or to my help. You deal with us with respect at all points, every point. Cannot lose your temper. You cannot throw a fit. You have to communicate. If you do not, you're responsible for what is the problem. And we're working by the hour. I will not work for you on a contract basis. I do not want half up front. I want you to pay me when I say you need to pay me. And if you do not, that's when our relationship ends. And believe me, there will be a point where those fussy people will show their true colors. There have been some that I have went all the way through the job and got all the way through it, and they were talking about more, and I'll probably deal with those people in the future. And then there are the majority of those really fussy people will get to a point, say 80% done, and they'll start throwing fits about things. I don't like this and I don't like that. I didn't really mean that. This is what you misunderstood. Hold on a minute. Now, this is what you sent me a picture of. This is what you texted me. This is what you verbalized. And I have witnesses that you did. And now you're saying you didn't? Well, I didn't mean that. You misunderstood. No, no, that's not how that's going to work. If you think that I am either a liar or not capable of hearing you, then we need to stop this relationship here. Because this is, I'm not making you happy, and you're showing it. And it'll stagger. No, I'm sorry. Well, I had this one guy, I told her son twice, pack it up. I'm not putting up with him. And he, you know, he's as big as, he's 6 foot easy, and he's just a mouthy guy. I mean, he's just a jerk. But I told him up front, you're not going to talk to me that way. I'm okay. This is the way it is. When you do, I'm packing up at that point and I'm done. And so twice, I should have known what was going to happen. So anyway, I went all the way through the job, and he wanted to do the paint, and he wanted to do the ceramic tile because he felt like he could do that better than anybody because he did it all through his college years to put himself through, get his housing paid for in college. And so he, after I did the work, then he started running on and on to other people that I didn't finish the work and that I needed to come back out.
Not to you, though.
No, he did not come. He, and the funny thing is, whenever the realtor, who was a friend of mine of sorts, I guess I can call him a friend, he's telling me this. I was like, okay, I'm willing to come back out there and do more work, but that work that I did was by the hour. So does he realize that he's got to pay me? Did he say, I want him to come out here and do this additional work to bring it up to another level, and I'm going to pay him? No, he did not. So that means he's wanting to run his mouth about the quality, but he doesn't want to pay for the quality. You start seeing, and I can tell you this scenario, and with different variations, different genders, it happens again and again. And it's usually a wealthy person, a person who's quite capable of affording that what I'm doing. And that even happened with a lady that I did work for off and on for 20 years, but I knew she was kind of fussy, but she couldn't get anybody to do work on her home. Because, well, she really wasn't wealthy, but she had enough money. She was spending her money on animals. And I did all this work for her, and then she had her, at the end of it, toward the end, the last 80, I got 80-something%, maybe closer to 90 done, and she started calling me out on my receipts.
Oh, yeah.
So she refused to pay the last, it didn't intend to be the last, she made it the last. Because she started accusing me, I don't think that you should be doing the work without handing over all the receipts. I said, well, I keep the receipts. I've offered all along to give you the receipts, copies of the receipts, and you've never asked for them. Now you are. Well, my friends at the accounting department said that I need to da-da-da-da. Okay. So then I spent all the time to go through all the receipts, and she owed me over $900. She did not make that good.
I was mad about that.
And it took me nearly 8 hours to go through all the receipts to find what I needed to find. Well, 10 hours. So, and then she paid slow. So, and I think probably 6 months later, she showed me a picture of where she was getting a stain in one corner, from the roof leak. And of course I didn't respond because, she made it painful for me to be around her. And when I was working for her, it was not a contract basis. It was by the hour. Okay. That is why I only work for people that are terribly fussy and irritable and hard to deal with. Only work for them by the hour. And if they're really obnoxious, I just don't work for them.
Well,
I just don't.
Charge them a little bit more.
There's a frustration charge for anybody that's going to be that way. There is one in particular that I've been working for him off and on for a long time, and we're virtually the same age. He's got a fantastic big whole house. He got 2 houses now, right on the same piece of property, and always claiming like he's poor. And I was like, hey, you need to quit using that verbiage with me, because I know where you live. I know you went to China to go see your kids. Okay, you're not poor. You're budgeting like you're poor. I understand, but stop talking to me like you're convincing me that you're broke. But he never stopped, and he knows better than to get mouthy with me, because I packed it up and didn't do work for him for 7 months, 8 months. He wrote me a letter, an apology, trying to explain himself, but it was a long letter. Imagine that, a letter. So he realized that he needed.
We blocked him.
Yeah, we blocked him, but he sent a letter. So can I work with ultra wealthy people and very wealthy people? Yes, well, of course. The kind of people that I work with the best are people that are just down to earth, adjustable. They're saying, look, we want to bring it up to this level or that level. And I've done some, there are some people that I just adore right now. And they are wealthy people. I'm telling you. And they're just, to meet them, you would like, wow, I wish I had those people in my life. They're just
Definitely.
wonderful people. Wonderful people. And I wouldn't embarrass them by using their names. But it's my privilege to know them. And yes, I know that everybody, they're older in age, so they have their health issues to deal with. And I have the privilege to get to know them as they go through that journey, and they call on me to be of help. It is, to me, not a weakness. It's a beautiful thing to see the grace that these people have. It's something else. So to say that I just work with people who have less money, that's not true. It's what I do is I work on mobile homes, and those people are less haughty, less proud, less demanding, because there's not hardly anybody who would work on a mobile home. So why is that? And I know I'm rattling on, but I want to explain. Whenever you hear a plumber say, oh, we don't work on mobile homes, or you hear an air conditioner guy, we don't work on mobile homes. An electrician, we don't work on mobile homes. What they're saying is you can't afford what I'm fixing to charge. Let that sink in, because that's what they're saying. When they say they don't work on mobile homes, they're telling you, I don't want to work for you because I'm going to charge the living daylights out of whoever I work for. I'm going to charge $275 to put in a toilet.
Or more.
And then I'm going to charge $125 for a supply line. It only cost me $8, $10. Look, if you're wealthy, it doesn't matter. You know, you just got your toilet put in for $300. You don't know how, and you don't want to do it if you did know how. But if you're on a budget, that hurts. You can't, and they know that before. They're giving you a break. I literally had a plumber call me up, said, this lady needs some plumbing done on her home. It's a faucet that it needs to be replaced. It's not really worth rebuilding. I said, who are you with? He goes, tell me the name of the company. I said, you're not going to fix it? He says, no, we don't work on mobile homes. He's at the house, okay? And it's an elderly lady, and she was so discouraged that she told me, I think I'm just going to sell it, and I give up. That broke my heart. I mean, I'm not as bad as some things have, but it really is one I remember. So this company that's been in business for a long time, but plumbers now can charge whatever they want. Really, think about it. And so can electricians. I missed a call from somebody yesterday, and they're just wonderful people. And I missed a call, and I let it go. I said, I'll call him this afternoon. I called him in the afternoon, and I feel terrible because they called another company, and that company charged them $10,000 to fix their electrical.
Oh my God.
and they're going to let them make payments on it. Okay, I'm telling you, I probably could have fixed it for less than 500, 600, maybe 1,000, and they're going to pay 10,000 in payments with interest.
Wow.
And so the circumstances of the people that own the house changed the price. Yes, I do need to make some money to pay my bills, but I also know that I can do without some to help somebody. That is not normal. If you're a business and you pull up in a fancy truck, you got to make payments on that truck. If you got an office, you got to pay the office manager, the lady running it, the warehouse guy, the payments on that warehouse. You've got all that to pay, and you've got to make the money. That's why they're charging thousands of dollars to install your air conditioner or to do electrical work, and then to the point where they're just making up prices and coming up with payment plans. All right, so now I'm going to get back to estimating, and believe me, when I told you, you can interrupt and ask questions at any time. She'll let me know.
Yeah, I'm watching.
So when I get to a home, I adjust my attitude so that I can look. So when I go in to a mobile home, I understand they just want me to fix what they want me to fix, not everything that I see. All right, so we have a faucet needs to be replaced on the kitchen sink, let's say. That thing has been leaking, so now it's rotted out the bottom of the sink, but they don't have the money to pay me to do that. They'll do that themselves. That's what they're telling me. So now I'm going to say, okay, I can replace the faucet. Do you have one? Oh, yeah, I do. Okay, so I will charge you a service call for pulling up, which I will have told them before I even got pulled up, went there. And then I'm going to charge you 1 hour to put it in. And so like $150. And generally we talk about maybe other things that, and usually because of that, oh, do you do this? The problem that I run into, and that's a very small estimate, the problem I run into is because I did plumbing for them, they don't think I can do, they don't realize that I can do the electrical problems that they have, the flooring problems that they have, the roof that they have, the skirting that they have, the interior that they have, the painting, the trim, the carpentry, the doors replacement. It just doesn't they don't fathom that I could do all those things with any kind of skill level. That happens. So I usually spend some time talking to them. That is part of an early estimate. So whenever I'm talking to them, they say, oh yeah, do you fix doors? Because this door in the back door here, it's been in bad shape for a while, and I can't afford it right now. So I'll go back there, and now that's part of the estimate, that time. Because I'm not on the road on to the next job. I'm actually, so I spend some time. Generally, I reflect, hey, I'm going to have to go get the door, or you can get the door, you can order the door, and then you'll hire me to come back out. Well, what would you charge me to put in? Well, I'm going to have to bring some silicone with me. I'll have to go to the store and pick it up. 170, if I'm in the area, maybe even less than that. So max of 200. And usually they're going to call me to do that. That's a small estimate. Those kind of things are labor controlled, and I can usually hang on to that for a year or so. Then my labor starts going up. If gas prices go up, I have to go up. If labor prices, I've been able to keep it, but my help is going to end up changing my prices. It already has some. I absorbed it on my side so that I can still be approachable, and a relevant choice to people that don't have money. And I don't have a big fancy truck. I have a truck I paid $3,000 for it. All right. So now, I wonder if they're, man, that's driving me nuts. Why don't you grab him and bring him inside?
Okay.
So anyway, I got a little tiny
No,
dog that's
well,
getting.
Come on, baby. Come on. No, not you, you little moose.
This Chinese crested just gets beat up by
The puppy.
a puppy.
Sorry, guys.
We have a Great Dane puppy that was something that Christina wanted. I was not enough to keep her busy. She needed something else. So whenever I go to estimate replacing floor, am I doing it with the furniture? Am I just replacing the floor? Or am I doing the floor covering also? Am I doing the trim? These are all relevant questions. What type of flooring? Okay.
Are we buying it or are they?
Yes. Are they buying the material? That means they go and get it and they bring it there. All I got to do is show up, fix the floor, use some screws, things like that. Those things adjust. Am I hardcore on that? Absolutely not. What I want is for them to be able to afford it. Now, how does that happen? Well, they can buy the materials as they can afford it. They don't have to buy it right now and then pay lump sum. And then I don't mark up the materials, by the way. I don't mark up materials. That kind of hit me today, yesterday. But I don't, as a rule, mark up. If I go into town, you're paying me to go into town and come back. I'll show you the receipts and then I go to work. Okay? Or I'll do the work and then I'll show you the receipts and add the labor. Or I bid it with that in mind, without marking up the materials. Generally, I won't.
It is rare finding multi-skill levels with good people. That said, when you find really good electrician and a really good plumber, they are treasures. Yeah.
Okay, and what you're saying is true. So let me explain a little something about plumbing and electrical. They are similar. Now think about this. Your plumber has supply lines, hot and cold, but supply lines, and it has a drain. Electrical has supply, the hot side, and then the neutral, which is the drain. It's not using.
It's Lady M.
So they're similar. You have supply and drain. So they are it's funny how a guy that does electrical work, which can actually cause more damage to him than it possibly could to the house. It's kind of a rare thing that somebody would burn a house down because they would have problems before they even left there. There would be, usually when you turn electricity on, smoke starts coming. But a plumber can have a small leak and do a lot of damage, particularly inside of cabinets of a kitchen, in a kitchen. You could lose $40,000 worth of, because a plumber didn't do a very good job of making sure there's no leaks. And those leaks can run on for a long time, and all of a sudden, So a plumber can sometimes do quite a bit more damage than an electrician. You would think the electrician is the one that could burn the house down. No, it's not. That doesn't happen very often. So anyway, whenever I estimate with the cost of materials and I add 10%. Sometimes when I'm redoing flooring, I add a little more than that. But the square footage plus labor plus 10%. Can you get to a place? Yes, I used to be $8 a square foot that I would charge, and sometimes 10. And then like decks, you could do $10 a square foot to $12 a square foot. You can still do $12 a square foot, and if it's a decent sized deck, you can make. Let me tell you where you can lose on those kind of things. Somebody just said, "What do you charge on decks?" I go, $12 a square foot, and it's a 4x4. You can literally lose because you got a staircase and handrails on the staircase that cost that much money. So 4x4 is 16 square feet times 12. Yeah, you're going to lose. So you don't want to lock in on square footage. You want to go in with degree of difficulty, the person's personality, the desire of what type of quality. You need to have everything defined. And these days, everything you say on the internet, if you type it in, and everything that you put in text is admissible in court. So everything I'm saying right now,
It's admissible in court.
it's admissible in court. So people say these outlandish things and say really crazy bad things, and thinking that well, I'm just being personal,
Oh, welfare. These welfare moms on TikTok who were bragging about how they're scamming the system, whoo, they're getting their butts beat over that because that's admissible in court.
So yes, so those things that I'm saying to you, I am exposing how I feel about things, which if I was a dishonest person, that wouldn't really mean much until I get caught. I could sit here and say, it seems like such a good price. It's illegal. It should be illegal for the prices that I'm giving you. And then whenever it comes out, it's not true. Or I could just lie about how good of a price and I can give you financing on anybody.
Lay down. Lay down.
Well, his cushion's all pulled up.
Oh,
So what I usually do with plumbing, and not like I used to be able to do a hard fast. Now you see the character that he gets beat up. He has no fur to defend himself. And this was given to me.
unfortunately.
And so anyway, this plumbing situation can get where I would replumb a house for back in the day. It would be like $1,200. I'd totally in a mobile home. I would change all the supply lines for $1,200. That includes right up to the bottom of the sink with shutoffs and everything. I don't think I can get close to that. I have on occasion done it for somebody who was very in bad shape and elderly people that just can't hardly afford, and then
That's usually you're working on it on off time though.
yeah, it's I have somebody right now that I need to go over there and dig under their brick home because the first plumbing company that just claimed they did Megaphone, they said, oh, it's right here. This is where your leak is at, because he had a leak and it's underneath the house supposedly. And this is where your leak is at, it's right here. And they jackhammered, busted up this really fancy, I don't know if they can replace ceramic tile.
Oh Lord.
And it wasn't there. There wasn't even a pipe there. Okay. So then the next plumber comes in. He does the same thing, but this time in addition, he slid down a line down the supply line itself, and he's like, "Oh, well, it's over here," and he makes a new line. And they don't want to bust up in the concrete there either because they got somebody they already paid for, like thousands of dollars are involved here for the two different plumbers, and they have paid for a walk-in bathtub being put in where the shower's at, which is quite a journey because it's a beautiful shower, and they're tearing that out. But he said, Phil, if you would come over, because I put in a toilet for him, and I told him I'd do it for like $120. It was a pretty fancy toilet. I thought it was going to be a brand new one. He told me his woes. And I was like, oh, we'll just call it $100. It was kind of a pain, but yeah. I put it in, and he said, would you come over and look? He said, listen, I don't want to tell you what to do, but I can hear water running over here. And it's over by the toilet, a long ways from where these guys' X's are. And I was like, well, Gary, I kind of agree with you. Where's this at on the outside? So I went on the outside, And sure enough, it's damp over there where it's not anywhere else. It's actually underneath a deck a little bit. So I'm going to, so we're looking at about 10, 12 inches. So I have to dig down on the outside, dig over 10 or 12 inches, see if I can find this leak there. And I said, look, I'll do it. I just don't want to charge you a whole lot. I'll charge you like $150 or something to dig out this area and go underneath and see if we can get to it. If that's okay with you. He says, man, you would be safe for that much money. I'm spending $600 a month on water if I leave it running.
Wow.
So they're going out there and shutting the meter off. Everybody flush toilets and then turn water back on, that kind of thing. Everybody does shower at the same time. This is in a fantastic neighborhood, and they're on limited income. They have their kids living with them. There should be a lot of money coming in there, but no, this situation is getting worse for them. And so anyway, I told him I said, give me a chance to get ahead a little bit on the job I'm on, and I'll see if I can't get over there. And so, when I look at painting, I look at how much furniture I got to move. When I do flooring, how much furniture do I have to move? How much do I have to protect to get to? I just got through doing work on an Airbnb that was from the 1800s, a beautiful home. I put down paper to protect, and I took out the floor in the bathroom, and then they asked me to fix all the termite damage underneath, which was extensive. It had been termites. This is something I learned while on this job from the termite guy communicating. So look, termites come out of the ground in March, and then they go back in the ground in May. Did you know that? I didn't. And what they do is they find a place to burrow in and make all their nests and all that stuff. They eat at the wood. They're trying to make their families. And then whenever those things come out, they go back into the ground. Okay? So if you see those kind of things and you don't see them, it may well be because it's not between March and May. Something.
I never guessed that.
Or something similar to that. So consider that. And so anyway, I fixed all the underneath of that house, and as much as I could. We did a lot of extra supports that didn't have extra piers, and put in wood that was ate all up and took it out, the bad stuff, and it was a lot of work, but it was all for a 6'3" guy. It was quite a lot of work, and I was still suffering from claustrophobia from being shocked inside of a septic tank. So whenever I estimate, that was by the hour. Whenever I estimate, I try to be as clear as I can, so that it's not misunderstood. Because what is it that saying? Good fences make good neighbors.
I was thinking assume.
Yeah, you don't want to leave things in assumption, because you can make an ass of you and me. So what we need to do is come up with, how much is the paint going to cost? Do you want to? Usually, I want the customer to pick the paint. And we talk about the kind of paint that they want, and that would be the different sheens, all the way up to semi-gloss, even high gloss, but mostly up to semi-gloss, all the way from flat all the way up. Primers, what different colors in different areas, how to protect. So like whenever I'm going into a room to fix the floor or to paint the ceiling or paint the walls and I have to move furniture and knickknacks, I take a picture with the phone and I can put it pretty much back the way it was. So just referring to the pictures, after we move it away, we just put it back. And that's fantastic. And the phone has really helped out on that. So I estimate the time to move all that furniture to get rid of trash that has to go to the dump. In my case, I have a dumpster. I can save them money by not having to pay me to go to the dump. The minimum charge at the dump over here is like $120. It doesn't matter if you pull up in a 1-ton trailer dump bed, 2-ton, 3-ton, 5-ton, or you pull up with a trunk full in the back of your Honda car. They're charged $120, $125. And then there's the labor to go there and labor back, which has fuel cost also. So you have to figure those things and add them to whatever time it actually takes to do the work. If you have to go get the material at the store and then wander around and wait in line and then load on the vehicle and drive.
Where a lot of handy persons, construction people get caught out is not.
I lost a lot of potential in the years past because I didn't allow for the time to go get the material and bring it to the job. I knew how long it took me to do the job. So that's what I'm doing. And you would be doing, and the reason I'm conveying it to you this way is you would be doing the same thing. You would be saying, this is my time, this is how much time it's going to take me. My labor doesn't cost so much, but I do know I need this much material. And you can find out the square footage of what paint. So if it's a rough texture, generally anywhere from 150 to 200 square feet. If it's a orange peel texture, a low, not a very heavy texture, you get anywhere from 200 to 300 square feet. So whenever you're doing that, you can have somebody. I have in my phone some reference to what other people charge per square foot for flooring, for painting, for metal roof. Now when it comes to metal roof, it's a whole nother game. You're looking at each, it's not just square foot. Now if I did just square foot, it would be a pretty heavy price, and that's where a lot of roofing companies come up with their price. It's so what I do is I figure out how many panels I need of each, and then I stop and figure out how much time it would take me to do this job. And that includes going to get the materials. And then I add some. I add 10 to 20% on materials. So in case I make a mistake, and I do make mistakes on a cut, I made a mistake today on trim. One. I was like, wow, I'd made that one backwards. So you can do the same thing with metal roof. Put the hole in the wrong place. Somebody said, I said 60, not 50. 67, not 57. Now you've got a panel, you need to have had an extra one of them. And if I have extra 10 to 20%, then I add it in the longest pieces of metal. If I make a mistake on a short piece, then I can take it out of a longer piece of metal. I do my long pieces first as a rule. Okay, so the way I estimate a roof is working out how many pieces I need of what length, what kind of pieces of trim I need, as opposed to throwing a square foot price at it. I've done it enough times that generally I can, but I double check myself, but I can say, yeah, I can do that for $3,500, $4,000, that on that mobile home. Because I've done it so many times, and it's been maybe not a long time since I did one. And I find that I've had comments from roofers on the channel say, you cannot do it that cheap, you're hurting all the rest of us. I'm like, well, I'm okay with making $1,000, $1,200 in one day. And they get quiet. You know, it's just me and maybe one other person. If it's two other people, I'm done in short day. And I pay my help and we're on the way to the next job, getting ready for the next job. So that's how I approach it. I don't go with a square foot price as like building decks and things like that. You can get really lost in the price, but The only way you're going to make up for it is you throw a great big fat square foot price at it. You see what I'm saying? I can do that, but it literally gets rid of people that I want to help. It gets rid of those people that have become longtime friends for many, many years. It's crazy how he's making that whistling noise. All because he hears my voice.
And he can't get to me.
So I try to figure out how long it's going to take me. I try to allow for the trips to get the materials and trips to the dump. Sometime to crawl underneath, and I try to allow for some unforeseen things. Is that the same as the square footage? No. Whenever those square footage numbers come up, it's usually big, fat numbers. Now, if I was to have built the company that I have to a larger level, which I could, I chose not to, I probably would have made more money, but I would have had less experiences with the people, and I would have learned less because I would have stayed focused on metal roofing, let's say. I would have had younger people working for me. I just go around estimating, and I would be right in the thick of it. I could easily compete with them, and I could bid all over this United States. Right now, I have somebody that wants me to go do 3 metal roofs on mobile homes just outside of Denver, Colorado.
Oh, okay. I know.
Okay.
Is that who I think it is?
And the price that I'm getting paid is twice what I normally allow for myself here, because I'm going to be living in something other than home and driving 10 hours there and 10 hours back. So that's 2 days, and long, hard days. That's a boring drive. So, the conditions that you have to deal with still doesn't justify those big square foot prices. Those big square foot prices, man, they can be off even still. I mean, they're honestly, they are making up prices right now. I know that there is a square foot number for these things, but they're kind of like, hey, last time we bid it for this much, let's see if we can add this much. What are you going to do? Most everybody's pretty much agreeing.
They're getting greedy.
And these guys are, all the trades are getting very wealthy right now. When I was in court with somebody that set fire to one of my mobile homes,
And this was
the
10
judge,
years ago.
10 years ago, the judge said, I don't think the price that he set to fix that is not high. That boy can make those prices. I paid $1,000 to put a toilet in, and I was like $3,000 to fix the burnt house. The small section. The fire department did more damage than he did, though.
Yeah.
So the prices that we're dealing with now, guys, are not. They're starting to get not based on reality. They're getting based on how much can they take.
Well,
How about we do a
also,
payment plan?
I think they're also, the further out they get, the higher the prices they charge. Like us, when we're way, way out, our schedule's full. Although it doesn't change our prices much.
Yeah, well, it's sad sometimes that I can't get to some people, but I can't. I literally cannot kill myself financially. I have done it. I cannot keep doing it. Right now, I'm so cheap that she tells me all the time,
You're losing.
I literally lose customers because
I don't believe you can do it at that price.
they just don't think I have the skill level.
Well, I think what they think is you're going to give them that price, then you're going to get in there and start raising
It could
the
be
price.
like working for the government or something. Yeah. Oh well, we're gonna have to add this to that.
Well, that's what I've heard that from other people who hire contractors. They came in with a low estimate, but they keep adding things. Oh, we didn't know about this. Oh, we saw this. Oh, we. And
So-
what are you going to do? They've got you. They got your house tore apart. What are you gonna do?
So I am sadly I am going to have to raise my prices. I have done a lot of trading, particularly with older people.
That would be why we have so many dead.
I have a
riding
bunch
mowers.
of a lot of riding mowers. I have I have a wind up record player that I've had for 10 years now because she couldn't afford at the time to have her water heater. She had it, but she couldn't afford to have the plumber put it in because he wanted like $600, even though it was sitting right there. All he had to do was swap it over.
That's crazy.
And so I said, look, I'll just trade you for the Edison record player. Really? We're long-time friends after that. So I think that the adventure that I have had dealing with people is made my soul feel better and has given me the wide range of experience that those people have had, and their personality quite often bled into mine, and they're like friends. It doesn't make any sense business wise, but I don't really care. I got to live with me, so I have square footage prices that I can refer to, and I hear rumors of, hey, this person gave me this price. If you can beat that, it's yours. Usually I try to make sure that it's not nutty anyway. And those people, once I do that, they're not going to call anybody else. They're going to wait for me to come fix the hydrant on the outside. And if they don't, they come right back. I've made a mistake. I had one of them tell me, he says, I should have swallowed my pride because you didn't come when I needed you to come. I should have waited for you to get here. Would have saved myself thousands of dollars. So I'm not trying to blow my horn. I'm just trying to tell you that is the relationship I have. And that is the reason I haven't had to advertise in any kind of serious fashion for 16 years. Okay? Because I live off my reputation and how I treat people. And I have no intention of retiring. I don't intend to get on a motorhome, which I do have one just recently, or just go see the Europe. She would like to do that. I don't really have any intention of retiring. I don't. I have every intention of continuing my adventure to getting to know people and learning more tricks and seeing new tools come out and growing with what's happening. The only thing that stays the same is everything changes. So I'm adjusting to the materials that come out, the new faucets that come out, the new electrical that's coming out, new lighting that's coming out, which that's changing a lot because of LED.
Yeah.
I think that there's somebody should be talking to the electric company, since everybody's using less electricity with LED and energy efficient air conditioning, energy efficient refrigerators, but our electric bill's still going higher. Surely that electric bill should at least level out because we're using less electricity, not more. We're using less. But we're going to keep going. So I think there's a lot of questions to be answered. There's a lot of adventures to be had. There's a lot of things to be learned. And all I'm trying to do with this little live is share with you how I deal with estimations. And I can get into more detail, and I could probably spend a lot more time. How much time have I spent already?
You've been talking for an hour and 5 minutes.
Okay, I thought maybe it might be. So I'm generally not wanting to go beyond an hour, but I can if somebody had questions. But all the best to you guys, and I'll talk to you next Wednesday.
At 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Standard.
And we'll see if we can make arrangements to come up with a new subject to talk about, and you're welcome to have all the questions you want to ask. It's a joy for me to answer questions that I have some limited experience or a lot of experience. I'd be happy to share with you. All the best to you guys. May trouble always follow you and never catch up. See ya.